And I hope I haven't done that today. I wasn't planning to do this. I wasn't planning to just go bonkers over this until I heard what he had to say and then deny me my truth. That's my truth right there. That man is not kowtowing to anybody. I am so proud of him. I want to be like him. I hope that one day I can live up to his legacy.
So you're related to the one that was bending over, right? Or
To the one that was bending over to Archer Alexander, my friend.
Got it.
My great-great-great-grandfather.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry. Hi, everyone. I'm Allie J. Nicolai. We are live in Lincoln Park. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're just joining us, I would definitely rewind and check out the words that that man has said. That man is said to be related to the freed slave here at the Emancipation Memorial in Lincoln Park in Washington, D.C. There's been a lot of controversy, a lot happening this week with protesters saying that they are wanting to tear it down, that they see it as a symbol of oppression, and counter-protesters who see this monument as a memorial of hope, of a memorial of freeing the slaves. We've had a couple of videos go out on Twitter of people explaining the significance behind this memorial, how it is not an oppressive image. It's more of an image of hope and looking towards the future. Back when the Emancipation Proclamation happened. So right now we have a decent crowd size out here. I would say a lot of them are here with the Black Lives Matter movement. There's also some historical reenactors who are in the 1860 era dress. Right now speaking is a historical reenactor of Frederick Douglass, who has a history with this memorial of donating to it and speaking at its unveiling. So we're going to keep going around. We're going to see if we can find some more patriots to talk to and let you soak in the sights and sounds of what's going on here in Lincoln Park in D.C.
20,000 white people that descended upon us. But then I take the story away and it becomes a fantastic,
beautiful, proper, and praiseworthy as this demonstration is. I cannot forget that no such demonstration would have been tolerated here 20 years ago. How do you feel about that? That we are here in peace is a prophecy and a legacy to American civilization. We are here with the stately pillars and the majestic dome of the Capitol looking down upon us. We're here with the foliage and flowers of spring for our church, and all the races and colors and conditions of men for our congregation. We are here to express, as best we may, our grateful sense of the vast services rendered to our race and to our country and to the whole world by Abraham Lincoln. Fellow citizens, we fully comprehend our relationship to Abraham Lincoln, both to ourselves and to the white people of the United States. Truth is proper and beautiful at all times and in all places. It must be admitted, truth compels me to admit that Abraham Lincoln was not, in the fullest sense of the word, either our man or our model. In his interests, in his associations, in his habits of thought, and in his prejudices, he was a white man. He was predominantly the white man's president, entirely devoted to the welfare of white men. But under his wise and beneficent rule, we gradually saw ourselves lifted from the depths of slavery to the heights of liberty and manhood. We are the children of Abraham. You are the children of Abraham Lincoln. We, black people, are at best his stepchildren, children by adoption, children by the forces of circumstance and necessity. For while Abraham Lincoln saved for you a country, he delivered us from a bondage. Therefore, it shall be asked what we have to do with the memory of Abraham Lincoln. The answer is, though he loved Caesar less than Rome, though the Union was more important to him than our freedom or our future, under his wise and beneficent rule, we gradually saw ourselves lifted.
Thank you very much.
Yes. And so I would say to you all, it is your choice. What happens here? You are the people. You are the future of America. You would not want to desecrate something that you produced, that your ancestors produced, but you can move it to where you want to move it. You can have a public square. This is actually the public square. This is where all this was meant and designed to happen based on the First Amendment right here, not behind closed doors. We are in the public square right now fulfilling the prophecy of the Emancipation and the Constitution. So you want this behind closed doors where the cameras cannot see you? I don't think so. Thank you.
They have to say that. Abraham looked like he was telling them off, like, stop eating.
The 40 acres and a mule,
We would appreciate that. Do you know where the money came from?
And then you'll literally at the same time, like, it's the upper yeah.
This is how rallies work. Why would you say it on lynch mob? No, it's a long way from the lynch mob, sir. This is very tame compared to...
Yeah, so she's going to be here. How many people have a monument made to them? And, you know, please, I'm learning and I want to know, why not put this in the African American Museum as a place for people to learn and know, and replace it with something that's more appropriate to today? Why not put it in a museum?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I'm pretty sure it might wind up in the basement of some museum, and I don't think that's right. On behalf of Ms. Charlotte. Put in the basement of an African American museum? I don't know, but like I said, I don't see why it has to come down at all. This is when your children are there and say, "Why is he kneeling, Mommy?" Then that's a good time to tell, because you have signage there to help you with brochures that outline it. There are links online that go to documentaries. These are teaching moments, but we don't have to take it down. They should. You think that all of the effort now to take down the Confederate-related... That's a whole different thing. She's not Confederate. He's not Confederate. This is a different issue. This is about emancipating, freeing the slaves, and all the elements to me. And that figure says someone going for it. He's on the starting mark and ready to sprint. So it depends on how you want to look at things. You can always look at the negative side of something. But that's what I see. A man ready to go for it. Are you talking to me about this? I'm happy to do it. This is a teaching moment, you know.
Tell us why why you're here today, ma'am.
Well, while I am here as a member of Freed, Female Reenactors of Distinction, the ladies here dressed in multi-period clothes, we are associated with the African American Civil War Museum. And our mission is to bring to life the stories of African American women who were freed, either they were never slaves or were freed, but made some contribution to our history. And so once learning about this statue in this park and having come to see it and seeing Charlotte Scott's name, when the opportunity came, I chose her as the person to represent. And for me, her story signifies the power of one. What one person, $5 in a dream can do. So had she not suggested this statue when she heard of Lincoln's assassination, it would not be there. So she put her money where her mouth is, her first $5 earned doing very difficult laundry. If you've ever seen how they had to do laundry, you know how hard it was. And all the monies raised for this statue came from African Americans, from colored people, troops, all that. That makes it significant. So that's why I'm here, to protect her legacy. There's no reason to be violent and to tear it down or spray paint it, because Miss Charlotte, God bless her, from Lynchburg, Virginia, deserves better than that. So I came to voice on her behalf.
You mentioned before that you're here to a good teaching moment. If you could explain to someone who sees this as a memorial of oppression, what would be your message to them?
Well, if you look at the figure, it's easy to say, well, he's on his knees. But if you look closer, you will see that this man is rising. His chains are broken. His back is not bent. He's on one knee in a rising position. His head is his chin is up. His eyes are looking forward. He's looking forward to a future of freedom. So you can say, oh, he's on his knees, but he's not on both knees. He's rising. His head is not bloodied and bowed. He's looking up. He's a fine figure of a man, an unscored back. So he's going for it.
If you would have one message for America just during this divisive time when it comes to everything that's going on about how we can unite around our history, what would be your message?
I would say take a deep breath and breathe. Turn down the heat, turn on the light, and let's have some truth. Destroying is not a way of building connections, just makes hard feelings. We don't have to do that for every instance. There's a way to do better than that.
What would be your way to do that?
There's always a way to teach. As I've said, you can have good signage there. You can bring field trips, children out there, field trips, stops on the tours, documentaries, brochures that outline what this is all about and how to reinterpret that figure. He's not a slave in submission. He's a man on the move.
Well, thank you so much for letting us know.
They said, oh, we can't print that because of.
But it's just working for you now.
The base. And because I'm not here, sir, White power looks like a comfortable conversation for everyone to have so pleasantly for a white-led event. I know what white power looks like, to keep you all settled and comfortable while other people have to deal with the fact that they get to watch their people suffocate from the knee of a policeman. And we get to watch this statue right here that is another current example of the little power that we still have in this country. And that's what this is all about. It's always about power. And I want to know, my question is, how many black people have to sacrifice for this country and still have no power? That is my question. How many black people have to die from this place and get to look at a manifestation of our lack of power to protect our own people? I am tired. I am sick. I am done. And you want to talk? You go, listen, I can get started on this neighborhood if you want me to. I watched this neighborhood lose 30% of the black people in it in the last 30 years. And if you don't think, I don't think about that shit every day, I think about it every single day. Every single day. You think this harm goes away because you get to pretend that it doesn't exist. And I'm asking you accommodationists, you centrists, you liberals, how do you not know it doesn't exist when you can see that thing? That's what I'm asking you.
Living fucking proof right there.
I want to know, how do you settle that in your soul? You got the power. What else do you want? You have the power clearly. Manifest the power, because that is definitely a manifestation. I'm tired of talking. I'm tired of listening to you talk. I'm tired of your solutions. I'm tired of your discussions. You do not care about us. You do not. You only care if it makes you uncomfortable. But you do not suffer any of the structural consequences that we have to deal with because of your comfortability.
Who's you? Can you specify who you is?
No.
Okay.
Listen, we see what the city and the federal government is willing to do to protect the statue. I'm telling you, I watched James Alex Fields Jr. run over people, and kill a white girl over a goddamn statue. I watched that happen with my own eyes. I saw him maim people over a statue. Over a statue. And what do? What is the state that you support does? It calls up the cops to make sure that it protects the statues. Who the hell is working together? Who is working together? Fields and the state. Fields and the state are working together. Open your eyes. I am so tired. I work very hard. Everyone can attest to that. I work extremely hard. And you know what I'm doing? I'm feeding people for free.
Yes.
That's what I'm doing. Because I swear, the only hope I have is if people have the capacity to have the basics without dying from working for it, we will have the capacity to tear this motherfucker down. That's all I got.
I'll give you a little bit of history.
Most of them were enslaved.
Until Lafayette was
And it's treated them. So she started implementing programming.
give him his freedom because he didn't technically fight in the revolution. So they had to get a special bill through. And then when Lafayette came out,
Because I was in the military for 8 years. I was in the Marine Corps for 8 years.
Okay.
And they barely talk about the Civil War. Barely.
really?
No. Yes, they barely talk about
You're
it.
kidding me.
I'm telling you, they barely talk about that. They talk about Vietnam, they talk about World War II, World War I. They have big textbooks about all of it. When you talk about the Civil War, it's just like, oh, it happened, and they got freed. That's it.
Yeah, but and fighting for the Americans. They're fighting for both sides. Right. So, and that's what I do because I'm a tour guide.
Right.
And so my job is I can't tell people everything, but if I can open their minds and get them interested, that's my contribution. And most DC tour guides feel the same way. Like our purpose is to present the history. We don't get in a lot of fights. We don't preach. We listen because I get people from both sides. But DC tour guides were the people who can wake people up to history.
And that's what it should be talked about. I'm glad you guys do what you do. I can mention because a lot of people come to DC and they look at the monuments and they don't know the history behind DC.
Yeah, and they don't want to take, they just want to take a picture.
Right.
But you got to go, you got to understand Lee. I'm a heretic. I talk about the secret face in the back of Lincoln's head. Because the thing that Lee did that he did like accept defeat graciously. So, I'm not a fan, but I gotta, and there's people just need to know what.
But that needs to be indoctrined too. It shouldn't be going by word of mouth all the time. It should be indoctrinated into textbooks. If you want to present change, you have to change it from a mindset. You have to change the textbooks, change the literature.
And you got to teach the history. Now, the problem is in schools. I'll tell you what the problem is. The only thing that schools care about are their test scores.
Of course.
Because your test scores determine your property values.
But who standardizes those? The federal government does.
No, the state governments.
Sorry, the state government.
Right. So, DC, and in a way I'm glad, because I don't want one state or one group seizing control of the textbooks. I'm almost of mixed mind, because if you had a standardized test, then you would just be memorizing the standardized test, right? So in a way, I'm glad there isn't, but people don't pay the attention to history that they do. And also, people don't take a global perspective. I mean, if you look here. People are talking about races all over the world now. All over the world. Right? And even in Lafayette Park. Do you want to hear a story? All right, Lafayette actually bought 2 plantations in French Guiana and freed the people on the plantations because he wanted to prove that free plantations could work. And then Kosciuszko, who's on the other end, he left all his...
I'm sorry to cut you off, but was he doing it in a way to say that it's still going to profit? Like, even if we do free the slaves, because this happened in Texas. When they freed the slaves in Texas, they said, hey, look, you can go around, but you got to have a pass saying you're free. And here goes, oh no, yes they did. Yes they did.
Oh, no, I'm
And
not
I'm talking about
denying
Texas. And they said, hey, look, black people, we still couldn't get jobs. We couldn't get jobs anyway, so we had to be indentured servitude. So you saying that he was preaching indentured servitude? That it worked? That it could work?
Well,
because that's what you're saying.
No, I think he was preaching that if you freed people and paid them.
Yeah,
I think he did.
No, he didn't.
Well, I'm just saying he made.
They did the same thing in Texas.
Yeah, but he was a lot more idealistic. He was actually doing it. This was his own.
Slavery still goes on today.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
These for-profit prisons and all that.
That's got to end. That's got to end.
It's not going to end.
For-profit
It
prisons.
should end.
That's got to end because you don't. That's not.
When you got presidents
for-profit.
pumping their money into it, it's not going to end.
No, you got for-profit prisons. You got for-profit healthcare. They both got to end. So what we got to do is we got to end Citizens United, which is the Supreme Court decision that allows all the money in politics. That's really.
Hey guys, I'm gonna switch to a megaphone.
And I will end with this. To the media and to all the naysayers out there, if you think we lost this battle, you've got another thing coming. Because we are going to be out here tomorrow, next week, and the week after that, until that motherfucker comes down. And I don't care if they're gonna have to peel me off the statue, if I'm gonna have to chain myself to the statue, it's coming down. Now, for everybody else, we had a lot of conflicting opinions out there, but I want you to let you know something, is that the people who put this event on really is the Freedom Neighborhood, all right? It was us. It was the young people out here, the people fighting for justice, who caused this conversation, who caused this disruption. So do not take away the narrative away from the young people, especially black young people. It is our revolution. Okay.
Hey, can I get everybody's attention, please? Everybody, please. Now, I'm going to say this. I'm in agreement with everybody about wanting the statue down. But you got to understand, it's the way we got to do things. And when I walked up here, literally, and like I said, I'm not making it like I'm bigger than anybody. I'm just like you. But I've been out here for the past 4 weeks, almost a month, from when the first riot started. And what I'm going to say is this. Being right here is not going to get the statue down. I'm going to tell you right now. And you may look at me stupid and say, well, what do you mean by that? Well, I'm going to tell you. The Capitol is where they make decisions. That's where we need to be at, not here. I understand y'all expression. Y'all want to express yourselves. I respect it all, and I even agree with a lot of it. But being right here, this is not where they make decisions at. The cameras are here. This is not where they make decisions. And yes, people are learning that. I got that. I'm not taking nothing away from nobody. But you have to understand, it's the way we have to do things. And it's people putting out from messages, group messages, things that's all social media talking about actually tearing it down physically. We can't do that. We can't. Man, I got you. Just hear what I'm saying. Everybody's so quick to give a response, but nobody wants to listen. That's the biggest problem right now out here. Do y'all not understand that? That they see us always fighting amongst each other. And they get a kick out of that. No, like, seriously, they really get a kick out of that. Y'all doing exactly what they want us to do. If y'all want the decision to be made of the statue getting down, do it the right way. Outsmart them. You got to outsmart them, man. Y'all got to use your brains. We got to use our brains. We got to come together, unite in unity, in love, and understanding. And yes, if we have different points of views, listen to that person. You may not agree with them, but just listen. Hear them out. Because they may teach you something. They may teach you something. You never know. I'm trying to figure out why we not out here starting a march. Why we not marching? You can still speak. They can still speak. We can still take over the streets, but do it in a peaceful manner, and that's how you get their attention. Go to the Capitol. That's how you get their attention. That's where the decisions get made at. Not right here. It's not right here. It's not. So at the end of the day, man, and that's the other thing, man, I'm seeing a lot of, and no disrespect to the older people, but man, y'all gotta hear us young people out too, because we've been affected as well. Just as much as y'all have. We're not taking nothing away from y'all. But y'all gotta understand too, we putting in work just like y'all. We putting in labor just like y'all. We getting harassed and killed just like a lot of y'all had before us. Y'all may have been slaves, but we've been slaves today. It's just different how they going about it. I hear that. But the whole time I've been here, you've been back there talking and not right here talking, teaching the youth. That's the problem. I'm letting you talk now. I'm letting you talk now.
All you got to do is say the word.
No.
Yeah. That's all you got to do.
Wait.
No. Give him respect.
No, because
give him respect.
Look, wait a minute.
Who are you to jump in the way of another elder person wanting to speak and voice himself?
Hey, we got cameras out here. Let's not
I don't care about no
Let's
cameras.
not do that.
I do cameras all day.
Let's not do
it's
that.
about what's right.
It's
about what's right. But who are you to step in the way of him expressing himself?
Because
even if you don't agree with it, that's still the elder and it's respect. You at least hear him out.
Like I said.
Who are you to step in the way? That's my question to you. That is my question to you. Okay then. Here you go. Here you go.
This is mine. It's mine.
But why are you doing that?
Because it's legally mine
Okay,
and I
well,
paid
go ahead
for
that
it.
way, because we're not about that.
Okay.
We're not about that. Okay, you got it. Now go that way.
You yelling at me?
Go that way.
Exactly what you said.
Everybody out here.
What I'm saying is she didn't have to snatch that from him.
That's him, and I did not hand it to him. I handed it to
He's
him.
been talking the whole time, and he's trying to talk. It's an elder, so there's no respect in that.
It's his
Y'all saying
You have your stuff. Why are you still right here?
but you won't hear no opposing opinion. Why can't we disagree without hating each other, without attacking each other? That's the problem. See, this is the problem. See, we can't disagree without attacking each other.
No justice.
No peace.
No
Okay?
justice.
And half of the ones out here talking.
No justice. No justice.
No peace.
No justice. No justice. No justice. No justice. No justice. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. Black lives matter. I don't know, and I don't really care why most of you came out. That is not meant to sound harsh. But I think we all need to stay focused on the conversation at hand. It's bigger than a statue. A lot of us are still black and are still alive. And we feel like the man in this statue. Yes, our chains are being broken, but we are not standing up. Let's focus on what this statue means to people right now. We are here right now. And we will continue to be here until we pass from this earth. So if there are more people here that want to talk about where we are going as humans and less about an inanimate object, I think that's the conversation we should be focused on. Thank you.
And he says BLM activists refuse to let people speak.
That's exactly what happened.
You have not been here the whole time. You do not know how this is going. Get the fuck out of here.
I can't understand anything you're saying now. That's right. Shout him down. Just shout him down.
If you want to be a real journalist, be a real journalist. If you want to be honest, be honest. Do not tear people down because you want to get 5 minutes of fame. Do not do that.
Glenn.
We are not here. We're not here to tell a story.
Somewhere else.
Hey, yo, give him 6
All right.
Please give him 6 feet.
Yes, for my people out here, I want us to remember something. Remember something. That we are out here because we are fighting for justice, for black lives, for black lives. And I want you also to know something. I want you to know something. For people who need to understand the context, that MLK went to Montgomery, Alabama, starting out. Everyone on his team, down to the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, told him not to go. Told him that is not the place to go. They said go to Los Angeles, go to D.C. He said no, we have to go to Montgomery, Alabama. And you know why? It's because he got the reaction of people who were complicit in the system he was trying to disassemble. He was trying to get the attention of the people who benefited from the system oppressing black people. So yes, we can all protest in our own way. We can go to the streets. We can go to the Capitol. But for us, we are bringing the attention to the very people who are oppressing our community. That's where it starts, for us. Now, yes, you are out here. And yes, you can criticize what we're doing, but at the end of the day, we have all these news outlets out here, all these police officers out here. Why is that? It's because the people, because us. We are a threat to the very system we are trying to break down. So yes, you can cause change. And I think that we shouldn't just focus on going to places where there is change. That can happen. Yes, it's in the Capitol. But let's not discount the fact that people are fighting in Tulsa. People are fighting in Milwaukee. People are fighting in Oklahoma. Okay? So do not tear down people from where they protest and how they protest. We need unity because the media will tear us down and tell a different narrative. If we are arguing in front in public, what is the message we are sending to our children that are going to watch this 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now?
Guys, can we just listen, please?
We need to focus on the subject, and that is to tear down white supremacy. And I will let you know something, sir. I will let you know something. If you want to record me and you want to put my name out there, trust and believe that no man, no government, no police force will intimidate me from speaking my truth and fighting for my people. So yes.
Yo, but Glenn,
We all know one thing we need to remember.
He knows about DC.
The media. Don't disrespect our city. The media will always.
Why you get about that controversy, did you?
Look,
stuck on your
brain.
Look.
You want the statue to be here, but you can't pick up a fucking mask.
Look, real quick.
Where's your mask at?
When we are out here and we got the media, remember something. The media's main intent is to make the oppressor look good and the oppressed look bad. Please remember that. So do not get confused. We're out here fighting for our rights. As you can see, the power of the we intimidate the media, when we intimidate the government, when we intimidate our president, we got people hiding behind sunglasses. But this time, we don't have people resigning, we don't have people getting kicked out, and most importantly, we're getting people impeached.
Just hide behind the mask,
Because we know exactly what's going on. It's because he is scared because of the power of the people. We have the power, not the media. We have the power, not the police. We have the power, not the government. So when you go home, you did not lose this battle tonight. You won this battle because you threatened them and you scared them.
You scared to give him one.
You are ready. This revolution is now just getting started. It's just getting started. And the most important thing that I want everyone to know is that a revolution answers to no one. We don't ask for white approval. We don't ask for the police to like us. We don't ask for anyone to like our revolution because we are fighting for our justice and freedom by any means necessary.
By whatever means necessary. Because your ugly ass face. You just gave him one so kindly. You just look so slow.
No, it's not mine.
I'm 6'3". Everyone out here, have the conversations when you get home.
I think it's a statehood mask.
Keep challenging your neighbors, your friends, and have those conversations. Up, and as you can see, my neighbors right here, showing up for me, defending me.
Chocolate City. Chocolate fucking City, bro. Chocolate City.
Keep fighting the fight. Keep fighting the fight. Okay? Let no one scare you. Let no one intimidate you. Let no one tell you that you are not good enough to ask for your freedom and your justice.
Hey.
We are not fighting another 400 years of this.
You look about at 14. There's a swastika on the left side or the right side?
Final call
I'm not sure.
for our president to get their act together.
Thank you.
And Bowser.
Yes.
Bro, you had a mask in your hand, Jack. Jack, we gave you a mask. Why ain't you wearing one? You don't believe in COVID, Jack?
Jack's here to spread
Come on, Jack.
COVID.
Come on, Jack. Where's your mask at? It matches your nice shirt,
We
too,
don't
bro.
work for them.
It matches your shirt.
We do not work for them.
You clearly don't care about the safety of any of us, Shades. Come on, bro. You don't care about us, Jack. You literally don't. You don't care about this statue. Jack, you can be asymptomatic. You can have the virus and just be spreading it naturally without wearing a mask, bro. What's going on, Jack?
Keep 6 feet back.
Bro, I'm 6 feet away.
You live out here. He trying to.
Yeah, I'll smack that little smirk off your face.
No, you won't.
I'll eat that charge. You got me fucked up. I'll eat that charge. Step down. Go ahead. I'll eat that charge. What do you mean? Hey, I like you.
We've got to cut off the channels that we feed into that oppress us. So on July 7th, we want you to black out and not just post a black square. We want you to not spend any money, any business that contributes to the oppression of black people and marginalized communities. And when that happens, and when you see how much our life relies on people who have oppressed us, you are going to be shocked.
What's the date again?
July 7th. Do not forget. We are going to end prison labor. We're going to end the prison industrial complex. We're going to end economic exploitation of black people.
Dad got interest in the trade.
So we've got to keep the foot on the gas on those.
Oh, Jack, you be a cheater too, bro?
No, he couldn't even fucking do it. He got kicked off the app.
Damn, Jack, you got kicked off a Bumble? How is that possible, bro? You couldn't kicked off a Bumble. You gotta be a real dickhead. You gotta be a real dickhead to get kicked off a Bumble.
Understand this. If you think a revolution is ever going to get
Tinder, I can understand. Nobody's gonna pay for you.
who don't care about you, you got another thing coming. If you think this revolution is going to stop because we didn't get that statue down today, you got another thing coming. If you think that this revolution is going to stop because white people do not care, you got another thing coming. We are not done. Our job is not done. Yes, that's right.
We're gonna get them out of here too.
It's real specific.
We are going to stop it now until every single person has the chance to live their life without the oppression of our government, preconceived notions of white supremacy, and most importantly, people who are allowing the system to oppress us. So, I want to end the event with what we did on Tuesday, with everyone's fist in the air, please. Everyone's fist in the air. If you truly care about Black lives, have your fist in the air.
Put his hand in the air.
Jack is a Nazi.
None of these guys have put their hands in the air.
Jack is an all-right sympathizer.
All three of these have not put their hands in the air. You remember that? They do not stand for the same shit you stand for.
That means you're a Nazi?
Means we ask questions.
Make sure these people.
Oh, really
here,
embarrassing. They should
all
play
the
the
way
part
down
a little
to
bit.
DC,
Bro, we're journalists.
Yeah, put your hand up like the other journalists.
Virginia,
What the fuck you mean? You do have honor.
One more time, make some noise. Power to the people. That's right. Black Lives Matter. 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 That's right. Let's get to work, everybody. Everybody get home safe. Thank you.
I want to say one thing. All y'all talking about Black Lives Matter, what is your money saying? That's what I want to know. For all y'all talking about Black Lives Matter, is your money saying Black Lives Matter? Or are you supporting a black business? All right? That's what I want to know. And when are you going to start protesting with your money? See, it's fine to be out here protesting, but when you going to start using your money? That's what you got to do. Start protesting with your money. Okay? That's all. Protest with your money. Hey, man, I appreciate this. Thank you very much.
How do we do that?
Okay? By not spending. One day, hey, listen. You ain't gonna break this system down by not spending money one day. If you ain't gonna spend no money, then you need to be in the long run for a boycott. Okay? I don't know. Bro, what you trying to do? Block me or you with me or against me?
Trying to save us from looking bad.
Oh, you with me? Okay. All right. That's all. Okay? So that's my thing, man. How you spending your money? That's going to determine if Black Lives really matter. Hey, Jack. What's going on, Jack? How they treating you, man? Hey, see, listen. Hey, folks, let me say this right here. Let me say this to the black... Hey, Jack, don't go nowhere, Jack. Jack, don't go nowhere. Go home. This is one of the things wrong with this country. People that have different opinions can't come together. See, we're hating people because we disagree. And this is what's destroying us as a nation. Because we disagree. Wow, you don't even know no black history, and you talking about white supremacy. You need to just shut up. Just shut up. Hey, Jack, how you doing, man? How are you? Hey, listen. Hey, my friend. This is what we need to do, my friend. All right, we need to talk, man. We need to come together.
No
peace.
No justice.
We need to stop this. You understand?
Dialogue.
We need dialogue, man. And unless people like you and I step up and be the example, ain't nobody else gonna do it. Okay? This is all I'm saying. You know me to listen. Listen. Here, let me give you my card, man. Call me. Yeah, I'll give you a card as well. Call me. We'll talk. Okay? Here's my card. Here's my card.
MLK talked and they killed him.
All right? Let's talk, man.
Okay.
Are you done now? Oh, you asked some fucking questions.
You think they respect you? They think they respect me? They don't give a fuck about you.
My man, let me say this right here. Ain't nothing wrong with trying, sir.
Ain't
nothing wrong with trying, sir.
MLK tried, and where's he at now?
Ain't nothing wrong with
MLK
trying,
tried, and
sir.
where's he at now?
See, that's what I'm trying to say. We all on the same sinking ship, and we're fighting like cats and dogs. So what's wrong with talking, sir?
We've been talking for 400 years. We've been talking for 400 years. For 400 years. Fuck the way you talk.
Changing the way you talk? Why don't you talk with your money, man? All right.
You see what's happening now? You see the H&M? You see how many cops have killed black people today?
Listen to what I'm saying to you.
Listening, sir.
You think for 1 minute I'm not in the same danger that you in?
No justice!
We're done. We're done talking.
No justice!
We're done. We're done talking.
No justice!
You know why we're done talking?
No justice!
Go ahead.
I'm gonna ask you a
No
question. How
justice!
can you look at the statue and say it's okay? How can you say a white man with his hand over a black man's head is okay? Answer me. Is that okay?
You know the history of the statue, sir?
I'm asking you a question.
I'm pretty sure
sir?
that most
Yes
of
or
us
no?
have
Is that
unanimously
okay?
agreed.
Is a white man's
Why
hand
the statue is there,
Fuck with
sir?
the
black man's
statue.
body okay?
Those of us who do fuck
You know
with
the
the
history of the
statue
statue?
should probably write a letter
over a black
and
man's
email.
body okay? Why a black man is
The
on
history of the statue, sir?
Brother, fuck the history. The white man's hand is over the black man's body.
When has the white man's hand never been over the black man's body? When has his hand never been over our body, sir?
White man controls everything.
Answer my question. Why you can't answer my question? My
No,
question is, when have they never had their hand over us?
Ask you a yes or no question. Sir, ask you a yes or no question. You have a black man on his knees without clothing, without anything. The president that we're supposed to be so happy about, who treats black people with his hands over there.
Get the fuck out!
Hold on.
This is a Nazi! This guy's a Nazi! He's an actual black man! This is a glorified Nazi! This is Jack Paselman! Get out of here, Jack! Get out of here, Jack! Get out! Get out, Jack! Get the fuck out, you stupid Nazi! Get out of here, you fucking Nazi! Come on, Jack!
I'm sorry they blocked you.
Whoa!
Get off! Hey, get off! Get off!
Get out of here! Get the fuck out of here!
I'm talking to my friend. I'm talking to my friend.
Get out! Get the fuck out, Jack! Come on, we're going. Come on. Oh, sorry. Get your motherfucking ass out of here, boy. I done told you 50 times.
Get the fuck up out of here.
Fucking Nazi.
Take your motherfucking ass back to Richmond.
We park,
Take your ass back to Richmond, bud.
Okay.
No, he lives in the city.
Well, he need to take his ass back to fucking Virginia.
You know where you live,
I literally
Jack?
just wanted to hear what you had to say.
That's okay, but call me, man. Let's talk. Let's talk.
No, we can talk here.
No, obviously they're not gonna let us talk here.
I mean,
Okay.
I thought it was pretty brave of the way you got up there to speak your mind.
So what I'm asking you to do is let's come together, man, and call a press conference.
Okay?
All right?
All right.
And see, can we bring an end to this nonsense? Would you be willing to do that?
I'd be willing to. And again, I'm not here to
Is Cassandra here with
really
you?
say anything. I'm here to
Laura
listen.
with you?
Okay.
I'm here to listen.
Okay.
Gavin with you? Who's
Okay.
with you, Jack? You don't come alone.
Okay.
Where's your
Oh, man,
inside
just don't worry about it.
Say again?
Don't worry about it. Just let's get you safely out.
I'm fine. I'm perfectly fine.
Okay. All right. All right. Hey, Jack, call me, man.
I will call you.
Call me.
I've got your card right here. Son, I got you right here. Is this your number?
That's my number, man. Call me.
Is this cell or off?
That's my cell.
Okay.
Call me.
Great intelligence already.
All right.
All right.
Call me. Let's talk.
Well, are you going to be all right, Tom?
I'm gonna be all right.
You sure?
Get
Get up out. Get the fuck out. Jason, get out. Talk to my friend.
Get out.
Jason, literally.
Get out.
Jack,
Get out.
Get out.
Get up out.
Going to jail over there.
Safety, get out. Get out. Get out of here.
I know.
Fuck out of here, Jack. You fucking neo-Nazi piece of shit. Come on, see Kyle. See Kyle, we know you love to see Kyle with Richard Spencer and the Clark brothers. You fucking Nazi trash. Get the fuck out of here.
Need to get escorted out like a bitch. Mobbed on your bitch ass. Get the fuck out.
I'm not going to do anything, man. These guys are soft. Sure, I know all these guys.
Jack, what's going on? You okay?
Yeah.
You good?
What?
Yeah,
This is
I'm
Jack Paselbeck.
No. I know who Jack is. What agency is the person?
Oh, these are security for.
Who says he's being detained? What are you talking about?
These are security for news agencies.
Oh, these are your Jack. Are these your people?
No, these are other security. They're for. I forgot who he's with, but
Yeah, I do appreciate
Yep.
it. I know it's addictive.
Make sure you're safe. Where you at?
I mean, well, the issue is, you know, the fact
You're a
that
Nazi.
we're away from these guys now. These guys still follow.
The issue is you're a Nazi, Jack, and you founded the alt-right movement. Did you not found the alt-right movement, Jack?
No,
Jack, you found the alt-right movement? Didn't you found the alt-right movement?
Bro, I'm not in the park anymore. What do you want me to do?
Get out of here. This isn't your city. Go home.
Like,
Get your car and leave. Go home, Jack. This ain't your city. Go home.
are you gonna let me walk?
Exactly.
So we don't want you in our
Oh, you just don't want your plate taken again, do you?
Need to move.
You're afraid to go to your car because you're afraid your car is going to get a picture taken, and then people are going to know your license.
I'm not gonna run away, Jason.
Go. You're doing it right now. You're already so.
Yes.
Fucking Nazi ass. Get out of here, Jack.
Please, can you leave our city? You're not walking.
Again, I already left. It's like I'm not in the park anymore. I'm not at your event.
You're not welcome in our city.
I left already. I'm out.
Fuck out of our city.
This is our city.
I live here.
Virginia, Maryland.
Keep going. Go back to your apartment, Jack. Keep walking. Go.
Keep walking. Keep walking.
We'll follow you there.
Why?
I'll make sure you get there safe. I'll make sure you get there safe. I'll make sure you get there safe. I'm gonna make sure you're gonna get there safe. I'll make sure you get there safe.
Why should I
Jack.
trust you? Are you gonna stop following?
I'll make sure you get there safe.
Are you gonna stop
I'll make sure you
following?
get there safe, Jack. I'm gonna make sure you get there safe.
Then what difference does it make if I
I'm
keep
gonna
going
make
if you
sure you
keep
get there
following me?
safe.
No, how
Go
about I walk
home.
towards the
We
police
want to make sure you
officer?
fucking get the way out of here.
Go. Hey,
Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
the police
Don't you walk
officer?
that fucking way.
Keep going.
No, right now, for my own safety, I would like to walk towards the police officer. Is that all right,
Walk
Jason?
that way.
Walk that way.
That way.
I don't see any police officers that way, so
there are.
I'm gonna walk towards the police officers now.
Walk that way. Oh, no, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. Get the fuck out.
That guy just fell.
This ain't happening, Jack. You're not going back that way. This ain't happening, Jack. This ain't happening.
Hey,
Jack, this is not happening. Go back that way.
Whoa. Why are you forcing him to go where he doesn't want
Jack,
to go?
get out of here.
Why are you forcing him to go where he doesn't want to
Let
go?
go of me.
Please stop.
Get out. Back off. Back off.
Hey, it's supposed to be a peaceful rally, right? It's supposed to be a peaceful rally.
Where do you want to go? Where do you want to go?
We're touching other people.
He's a fucking Nazi.
I want to go to the police.
Well, call the police officer then. There's a police officer right there.
This is a fucked up
Hey,
police.
hey, hey.
You don't have the right to do what you're doing.
He's a fucking Nazi.
But you might call him wrong. What makes you right? What makes you right?
He's a fucking Nazi.
Let go of me. Let go of me. Let go of me.
There's a police officer right there. What makes you
There are
right
cops
if you
right
think he's
there.
wrong?
Get out, Jack.
Where's the
Hey.
police officer?
He's right
Get out.
there. He's on the
Don't
corner.
touch me.
He's on the corner.
You're touching
Don't
him.
touch me. I'm not
No, he's on the corner. He's on the corner.
You've been
I'd
touching
like to
him.
go to the police
You're
officer.
gonna stay right
Who
here.
the fuck are you, honey? Shut the fuck up. Yo, oh, no.
Don't pay no
Hey,
mind. Don't pay. Hold up. Y'all don't know each other. This ain't about y'all. This ain't about y'all.
Don't touch him.
It's not
Don't
about
touch
you.
him.
Not
Don't
about you.
touch him.
Hey,
Hey,
Don't touch
can
him.
this man talk to the police or not? Can he talk to the police?
No.
Jack,
I'd like to go to the police.
go, Jack. Get out. Get out, Jack. You go that way. You go that way.
You can't get in
That way.
trouble.
That way is where you go. You want to call the cops and talk to them?
What did I do? What
There's
did
the
I
cop
do?
right there. Go.
You founded the fucking alt-right movement. That's what you fucking
He founded it, for God's sake. You're giving this man a little too much credit. Shit.
Go talk to MPD. They're right there. There's MPD. They're in that van right there. Go talk to them. Go talk to the cops. You want to talk to them, right? Go talk to them.
That's not a cop, man. The cops are back
Get out
there,
of here,
dude.
you stupid Nazi brat. You're a Nazi
Dude.
piece of shit. You are a Nazi. You are a literal fucking Nazi. You know that? Remember when you see Kyle? Remember when you see Kyle get jacket off? Don't touch her. Don't touch her. Get out, Jack. Get out. Get out.
Jack, pussy out.
Get out.
Please stop touching me.
Jack, you're getting out of here. Jack, you're getting out of here.
Get in your car.
Get out of
Hey, don't put your hand on a woman.
Don't touch her! Don't touch her! Back up! You back up! You back up! Back up! Back up! Back up! Back up! Get out of here!
Hey, I think you better walk away. Cool off, yeah?
Get out, Jack! Get out. Get off. Get off. Get off. Out, Jack! Get out! Get out, Jack!
Hello, Jack. Say hello to Luke Coon.
Bro, how are you? Get the fuck out of our city. Where are you going? No. How do you know where I'm parked? Where are you parked? Where you parked? Could you let me go, please? Where you parked?
I won't.
Where you parked? You don't know where I'm parked. We'll walk you through your car. We'll walk you through your car. We are your escort squad.
You go that way to get out.
Sorry, we are your escort squad. Where you parked? We'll walk you through your car.
I'm going this way. Guys.
No, see, because you said
If anybody do something smart, don't get your liver spots away from me. You know, my brother, you're going to pay deal to get that white. Let them feed their shooting. I just replugged in the other. We got this over here. We got this. We got this. Excuse me. Hey. No. Don't touch. No, we got this. We got this.
Get out of here, you Nazi!
Back up.
Get out of here, you Nazi! That's a Nazi right there! That's a bona fide fucking Nazi!
Asshole Nazi. How you feel about that?
Bona fide Nazi, Jack Pasovic!
Don't nobody advance forward. That's all right. Let him go. You don't advance.
Get out, Jack! Go to your car and get out!
Let's head back to the front.
No, we're gonna stay here till he's gone.
He's gone.
Then get him out of here!
Hey, look.
Get him out of here! Or get your CO!
What are you gonna do? Back up. What are you gonna do? Back up. Go back to the park. Have a good day. Back up.
Get him out of here. Get Jack
back up. Come on, let's go. Let's go.
Get him out of here.
You're lying. All right, let's go down, folks. Let's go. Pull it down and go back to the sidewalk. Pull it down and go back to the sidewalk. Let's go. Pull it down and go back to the sidewalk.
We're telling you to back up. Back up. Hey, back up.
You don't win. You don't win.
Tell Jason to get this fucking asshole out of here. Tell Bagshaw to get this asshole out of here. You get the fuck out of here. Get out of here.
You don't win.
Jack, you alright? The only reason these people are here is think I saw him instigate anything. Jack, it's Purdy. You alright, brother?
Totally fine. Are you guys having a nice day? I'm thinking about fish tacos for later.
Oh, you're getting your own ride in a police van?
Bye, Jack! Bye, Jack!
Bye, Jack! Bye, bitch!
Bitch, bye!
Not going this way!
Bitch, bye!
Hey, look, see? You don't, little lady, you don't win.
Get out of my way!
You don't win.
Get out of my way! Get out of my way! We're moving. Go!
That's assault! Stop putting your hands on people. That's
You guys
assault.
are going to escalate this. I'm not gonna-
You shut the fuck up.
What's his name and badge number? He just assaulted her. He put his hand on her. He just assaulted her. What's his badge number? We need his name and badge number.
Bye, bitch! Bye, bitch! Fucking Nazi piece of shit! Hey, Pipsqueak, don't touch me again! Where the fuck is that Pipsqueak? Yeah, I'm fine.
That is assault. It's attachment, Sergeant. Don't look at that goofy ass stuff on your body.
Yeah, where's Bagshaw, Pipsqueak?
I know that you're calling that dude a pipsqueak, but you're...
What he has said. Okay. You're saying that because the word did not come out of his mouth here that he's innocent?
No, that's not what he's saying.
He's saying he didn't say anything, but the man has said things in the past.
He said things in the past.
The man has regularly said
Nobody
things.
has the right to stomp him. Nobody has the right to stomp him.
People the right. Anything you're just going to say I'm misquoting him, so I'm going to let you do some research. I don't look. I've only watched a couple of his things, so I don't really follow the man. I think he pronounces his name wrong. It should be Pasovic, not Pasovic. So What has he said specifically?
He says inflammatory things
Like
all
what?
the time that are disrespectful.
What? Okay, disrespectful things,
that
dude.
That are disrespectful to human rights.
Okay.
All right.
That's fine.
Can you tell me something?
I'm
Ugly. I'm saying that the dude's a racist.
All right, fine. Tell me something he said that warrants him being beat in the street.
He wasn't beat.
They were trying to.
They were trying
No, they
to.
weren't.
Yes, they were.
They didn't touch him.
Yes, they did.
They did.
Yes, they did.
They did. That's why I had to step in the way,
We had to
dude.
get in between them.
Okay. Then you're talking about people who get beat by cops.
I've been beat by the cops.
How many times?
Shit. Twice. Twice.
For what?
Okay. For fucking skating when I was
But hold on.
14.
That ain't
Yeah.
gonna
Shit.
do- hold on.
And so you know exactly how much it sucks.
That has
Yes,
nothing
I
to do with the
do.
white man.
That has nothing to do with why
That
he
has
was
nothing
here,
to do with the
though.
white
He
man.
was
That's
here
totally
just to
different
get
issue.
some footage of the
And see,
event.
people murky the issues. That's a different
He is
issue.
an agitator, though.
Who?
That man who just climbed into the back of a police van.
Yeah, I understand. But he didn't touch anybody.
He didn't touch anybody.
If we would have been out in the middle of nowhere, Virginia, they would have mobbed on us.
I know, but we ain't there.
You didn't touch anybody. So they can't be down here.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Emotionally.
But you must say.
There's a history of filming people and then doxing them.
I got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one.
All right, guys, we're going to try and get back to the protest. We got a little sidetracked there. There was an assault on Jack Sobiak. He was just present. Triggered a group of the Antifa faction here. Certainly were people that were trying to defend him and those who were trying to assault him. It was very, very rough. Can attest to how intense that can get. So we're gonna get back to the protest. Hey, Allie, you want to tell us what just happened?
Hey, what the heck? Real fast, the tour guide loves Breitbart. He wants to talk to us. So let's go do that. Pretty much what we just witnessed was Antifa. Absolutely, hands down. Those are all in the baseball batting helmets. Other helmets, all black. Obviously, they know who Jack Posobiec, sorry if I'm butchering your last name, or Posobiec is. They ID'd him early on, started harassing him, started spray bottle with hand sanitizer. Our friend here, who's just going to talk to us, was also there in the middle of it. They started throwing water. Eventually, they've chased Jack down, if you were watching. I've been here just talking to a couple of our friend here, who we're going to talk to right now and just get his perspective on kind of everything that's happening and just kind of the whole country. Thank you so much for hanging on.
Hey,
we really
what's going on?
appreciate it. We
Yes.
hope you're okay. We're good.
Yes, we're good.
Perfect. So if you could introduce yourself.
My name is Don Folden. I am the owner of DCBlackTours.com, Capital Buddy Tours. I do the Black history of DC.
Awesome. And when did this get started? Can you tell me a little bit about
I started in 2016 is when I started my company.
Okay, and why did you start it? Specifically DC Black Tours.
Because the new African American Museum, which used to be in Southeast DC in Anacostia, way up on Morris Road, the Anacostia Museum, used to be the Black History Museum. So when I saw that they were building the new Black History Museum downtown, I knew it was going to be a magnet. So you're going to have people coming from all over the world looking for some black history, so why not just have the Black history of DC ready for them? Unfortunately, it hadn't caught on as much as it should, but I'm still in business.
Yeah, awesome. So if you could just describe kind of the events starting from when you wanted to walk up and share your voice.
Right. Most of these people out here are full of shit. They're out here just to, say Black Lives Matter. But their money don't really say Black Lives Matter. A lot of them don't even know the history of the statue. Why it's there? The reason it was chosen, nothing. But they want to tear it down because they think it's offensive. And me and my wife have come out here on several occasions to clean up around the statue. I personally little kids chalked up the whole statue, and I came and removed all of the chalk that was on the statue. But you want to tear it down. See, Why don't you turn it back to where it was originally facing, west?
Could you explain the history behind that change?
See, when they dedicated Mary McLeod Bethune in 1974, that statue has been there since 1876. When they dedicated her in 1974, they turned him around. So now you have a black woman who's the first ever female black person in D.C. to have a statue. Is Mary McLeod Bethune, who's an educator with a little boy and girl, is now facing a black man that's kneeling before a white man. So it's telling her, no matter how much you educate that little black boy, this will always be the black man's position. See, because on the back of that statue, the chain ball and the whipping post is still there. And see, he was dressed in a loincloth so that he looked like a savage. And actually, the model that they have for the slave that's with Lincoln is Archer Alexander. He's the last slave captured under the Fugitive Slave Act. They use his likeness.
So if you could just kind of describe, you were talking to Jack, and just your message that you guys had between each other, and just your message to the crowd who wanted to not hear from you at all.
Well, but see, here's the thing. We're going to have to be able to disagree without hating each other. That's the problem. We're all on the same sinking ship. And we're fighting like cats and dogs, and Rich got all the lifeboats. But we fighting each other. Like if my half of the ship go down, yours is going to stay afloat. We all going to go down. So just because we disagree does not mean we can't dialogue. See, there's going to have to be a start somewhere. And see, a lot of these people that are talking Black Lives Matter, but their money don't say Black Lives Matter. They still supporting these corporations that's behind the very institutions that's allowing this condition to exist.
What would be your message to those who were, you got water was thrown on you, hand sanitizer, I heard. What would be your message to those people who are wanting to result in violence?
Man, learn how to talk. Just because you disagree, don't mean you got to hate each other. It don't mean you got to hate each other just because you disagree.
And what would be your message to a very divided America? As you said, we're all on the same ship.
We gotta start talking to each other and not at each other. And right now, we're too busy talking at each other and not to each other. We all got isms in the closet. So why can't we find out what we have in common versus our differences? See, everybody keep highlighting our differences, but what about what we have in common? Why can't we? Because some of the same people that are hating each other, children don't even speak to them. They got family members that don't speak to them. It's a whole lot of people out here protesting that don't even talk to their own brothers and sisters or their mothers and fathers, but they say Black Lives Matter. You see, so let's be real about this thing. Yeah.
So what would be your message to someone who may disagree with you?
Man, it don't ever hurt to talk. Don't ever hurt to talk. And we need to do more talking to each other and not at each other with all the hatred and the division and the vindictiveness. That's not going to solve the problem.
What's your opinion on groups like this trying to tear down statues, all over the United States?
Well, see, that's a part of history. See, this is a part of the fabric, whether you want to agree with it or not. That's there. Now, some of these statues should be put in a museum. They should be destroyed. Put them in a museum and replace them with some people that are more deserving to have a statue. All right? But that history, because even if you destroy the history, don't mean you destroy the mindset. The mindset is still here. And see, and this is what these people, they can come out here and protest till they blue in the face. But the mindset is still here. They're not addressing the mindset. And this is what we're going to have to address.
Well, what is that mindset that you see in them?
Well, Man, right now, it's too easy to cheat to win in America. It breaks my heart. And see, here's what a lot of people don't know. I'm one of the few black Republicans you're going to find in the city. A lot of people think I'm a Democrat, but I'm a Republican voter. I ran for office as a Republican. Okay? All right, so I don't know if you knew that or not.
No.
But I am one of the few black Republicans in Washington, D.C. Okay, now does that have any bearings as to why my business is so bad? I don't know. I don't know. But man, we gonna have to, we got to come together. We got to come together, because look at what we're teaching the young people that's gonna be responsible for us, that they can cheat to win. You know, you got judges that's not even qualified with lifetime positions that's gonna mess up some stuff. But you don't hear one protest of that. You see? And these are the kind of things that we're going to have to start protesting.
So, since you are a Republican, Joe Biden, who's the Democratic presidential candidate, on a podcast, a YouTube show, The Breakfast Club, said that if you don't vote for him or the Democratic Party, you ain't black. What's your response to that?
Well, I understand, unfortunately, you know, being that you're talking to a black crowd, what else are you going to say? Because the majority of the people that you're talking to are black. And he's saying that if you're going to vote for a racist, then you're not black. And that's what he didn't say. See, it was the code that he was using that a lot of people don't want to highlight. That was nothing but a code. And the Republicans do it. You know, man, the only thing I regret about my party, they got to cheat to win. That's what I regret. They have to cheat to win. And you don't have to. All right? But you can't, you know, why aren't you pulling in more blacks like myself? But you got, you know, a woman like Candace Owens, who is nothing but a prostitute for the Republican Party. All right. So you got a lot of black people that are say they're supporting the Republican Party strictly because of what they can get. They're doing it for what's in it for them, not because they are committed or dedicated to the individual. Man, they're getting something out of that.
So what do you want the Republican Party to know to rope you in, as you said? You know, you're asking why. You know, what would your message be to the Republican Party?
Let's wait for a second here, guys. Okay.
See, in order for more blacks to become members of the Republican Party, first of all, they need to know their history. They'll know that the Democratic Party was the party of the KKK. All right? I can take you right now over to Barry Farms, which is in Southeast D.C., right? Which is one of the worst places in the world. Matter of fact, Barry Farms started out originally as a contraband camp. All right? That's originally, Barry Farms is the first contraband camp. What a contraband camp was, whenever runaway slaves made it to D.C. and told the Union soldiers they didn't want to go back because they were afraid their masters would make them work for the opposition, the Union soldiers would confiscate them as contrabands of war. Well, Barry Farms was the first contraband. When you confiscate them, you got to have somewhere to put them. Barry Farms was the first contraband camp. Barry Farms also, every street in Barry Farms is named after a radical Republican. I don't know if you knew that. Every street in Barry Farms is named after a radical Republican or somebody that was sympathetic to the black cause.
So other than knowing your history, what are some other things the party can do to rope in more black voters?
Be more transparent. You know, be more transparent and inclusive. You know, that politics is a dirty game. I know, I ran for mayor of D.C., I done ran for city council, so politics is a dirty game. Okay? And if they really want to groom some candidates, you know, then they need to get behind some, you see, because how much money you have determines whether you're a viable candidate. I don't care how good your ideas are. If you ain't got no money, you're not you're not a good candidate. And see, and what the Republican Party need to do is get behind some black people that they can put out as candidates. All right? That's already a part of the Republican Party. That's not for somebody that just jumping on the bandwagon because it's the thing to do. See, because after a while, the thing gonna be to do is for black people now to come back in droves to the Republican Party. Watch what I tell you. You heard it here first. Okay, you can always say, hey man, that guy told me. Truth conductor, as you can say, truth conductor. He told me that no, black people gonna start coming back to the Republican Party in droves. Watch what I tell you, because that's gonna be the thing to do.
Now, just one more question. I'm just wondering your opinion on this call for defunding the police or dismantling the police. What you think about that?
No, we need reform. We need police reform. It's what we need. We need police reform. Okay, in some cases, you know, there are, when you're doing a demolition job, you do have to, there are some things that need to be gutted out about the police force, you know, but we need reform because we're going to need the police, all right? We just need police reform is what we need because, you know, be it good or bad, I still know some good police officers, black and white, in D.C., and I know some shit too. Okay? And if you want to find out, all you got to do is go to any hood and you can find out any bad police officer in any city. Just go to any neighborhood and ask some of them young boys on the corner who are the corrupt police officers in the city, and they can tell you but see, the problem is the corrupt officers have been able to hide among the good officers. And this is why we're getting the uproar that we're getting.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate you talking with us and being able to speak what you wanted to say up there, because I know that they weren't letting you.
See, I didn't care. I never care about what they're going to say. I'm going to say what I got. Man, this is my town. I've been here 45 years. And my tours come out here, and you're going to tell me I can't come up and say you out your goddamn mind. You're crazy if you think I ain't going to come up and my tours come through here, and I didn't clean that statue off. And me and my wife then got in there and cut the hedges and trim and rake and got all the trash out. You damn right I'm going to come and say something, whether you want to hear it or not. None of them people that live in the neighborhood care about what it looked like, but they want to tear it down.
Well, thank you again, sir.
You're
we'll
welcome.
definitely...
Appreciate it.
Yes,
all
yes,
right?
very much.
Man, thank you.
Yes,
thank
have
you.
a good night. Thank
right?
you. Thank you.
How you doing, sir?
Hey guys, just stand by. We're going to keep continuing this live stream, so I'm just going to switch your battery real fast, so stand by.
So if you're just joining us, or if you're still watching, I'm Allie J. Nikolai. This is Matthew Purdy behind the camera. We're Breitbart News. We are live at Lincoln Park in Washington, D.C. Earlier this evening, there was a pretty big protest in opposition to that statue over there, and an Emancipation Memorial. In opposition to that statue, people here want that statue torn down. Now, there wasn't any activity in actively trying to tear down that statue. There are large black gates, which were put up a couple nights ago to protect that statue, so there wasn't any physical tearing it down. But there was definitely a lot of people here that supported tearing down that statue. Things were relatively peaceful. There was a couple of historical reenactors who were reenacting from the time of the Emancipation, who were there just trying to have dialogues with the different protesters that were there trying to advocate for the tearing down of that of this statue. Later on, Antifa and Black Lives Matter activists identified another conservative reporter, Jack Posobiec, and started to get it escalated very quickly. The guy who we just talked to a little bit before that was waiting for an opportunity to speak, but the protesters there, as he started to speak, started to surround him rapidly, started putting their bikes up, started putting their hands in front of the press's cameras, trying to, in a way, block his message, not only from the other protesters, but especially from the media, because he was not saying exactly the narrative that they were there for. And so after Jack was ID'd by Antifa and Black Lives Matter activists, they had a spray bottle, which they said was full of hand sanitizer. They started spraying that on him, started giving him dirty masks. And after that, our friend here, and Jack began to just move out of the crowd, because at that point, Jack and everyone else, they were getting very violent. They were pushing him, trying to shove him, trying to leave. Eventually, the crowd became a little bit more of a mob and started chasing Jack out of the park. That continued on. Purdy went on down probably a block or so, I'm estimating. I wasn't there to exactly see what happened there, but our viewers know. You can rewind and you can see that. Eventually, luckily, Purdy made it out safe. I was saying a couple of prayers, oh my gosh, and came back. We just got done with a very powerful interview from the man who was trying to speak, and the protesters tried to not allow him to speak. We allow him to share his message. Right now, the park is now quiet. There are still some lingering activist protesters, Antifa, who are at the statue right now.
I think a lot of them marched away when you were doing the interview.
Correct. Yeah, a lot of them, they started moving that way. Earlier on, if you were joining or if you were watching, they were saying how their activism needs to be put now more towards the Capitol. So maybe we can assume that they started making their way to the Capitol, which you can see its point just beyond the trees. It's a couple blocks down there. But right now it's relatively quiet. We might look around, we might follow the marchers, but we're going to continue on here. Okay, so thank you guys so much for joining. We're just going to wrap it up here. It's a little bit of a tense air, so we're just gonna get out here just to make sure that we're safe. But thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you like this video, if you want to share the message of the different people that we were able to talk to, make sure to like and share this video. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at We Are Breitbart, Breitbart News on Twitter, and Breitbart News on Facebook. Again, I'm Allie J. Nikolai. This is Matthew Purdy behind the camera. Thank you so much and have a great night.